Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the 48 First Alert Weather Extra. I've got some rain coming in. This rain a little bit ahead of schedule. That's good news for tomorrow morning. I think we will get a break around 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then we'll see a few isolated showers, a thunder shower coming in as we go into the afternoon hours. And then we're watching Thursday for a few strong thunderstorms, but strong storms this time of year, it's just part of the season. You get a lot more moisture in the air. Start thinking like summertime thunderstorms, and that's basically what we're looking at. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hey, Adam's checking in. Philip's checking in from Meridianville as well. So again, I'll have some of these comments. Whoops, I just sent something. I sent you a message, I think. But anyway, I got 3 buttons to choose from over here. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get right to it. What we're going to be looking at tonight's a pretty nice start to the evening. We've got good sleeping weather coming up tonight. So overall, we're going to have some rain, occasional thunder out there, and we won't have to deal with the fog in the morning. Because of the clouds, temperatures are hanging in there tonight. We're in the low 70s right now, so still looking pretty good out there. As far as temperatures area-wide, just a little bit cooler as you'd expect. Fort Payne always seems to be the cool spot over there. 61, 64 in Scottsboro. By the way, the Weather Service surveyed again from last Friday in the Woodville area, and there was some wind damage there. They classified that as a downburst of 75-mile-per-hour wind, and I think it actually did more damage than the tornado that was reported the other day. So, Kristen, thanks for checking in tonight. Again, I add all these to the queue, and then as we go full screen right after the break. Town Creek checking in too. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. But as we kind of get into the forecast, I'm going to tell you, this forecast is, I would say, unpredictable. It really is. We're going to see changes in the models every single day, and you're going to see why when I show you the water vapor imagery coming up. We've talked about these 2 upper air disturbances coming in, and this is a very strange pattern here in May because it was so warm in April. But once this pattern breaks, we're looking at mid to upper 80s, heat index in the mid 90s, probably by the middle of the month. So get ready, enjoy this break. This is really welcome news here. For gardeners, this is some really good rain out here. If you can throw some fertilizer out the next few days, that's good too. Jared's headed to Destin. Yeah, we're going to have periods of showers and storms there too. I'm headed down to New Orleans tomorrow night, and then we're going to Grand Isle to go fishing. So it's going to be raining there as well. Yeah, all across the southeast, we're all dealing with this weather ailment. And see the regional radar here. We're right on the northern edge of this. Notice initially how we lost some of those radar returns. The yellows kind of went away. There's some dry air in this northeast wind, and it's kind of feeding into it. And that's the challenge for the model guidance, and it's a challenge for us as well. But the severe weather is down here to the south. New Orleans, north towards Jackson, dealing with the potential for some tornadoes, some flooding. The potential, we're not looking at that at all. And then we've got snow on the other end of this. Heavy snow in the mountains of Colorado. They're measuring the snow near Pikes Peak in feet. Yeah, we do need a break in this rain. It's been a really wet pattern, but I'll take this over being dry going into summer. Here's that upper level low. Notice the arcing here and that swirl back near Albuquerque and into the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle. That's what's producing the heavy snow in the mountainous areas. And there's this copper color coming into Dallas. That's called a dry slot. What's happening, Christians wonder why there's so much rain. These patterns are stuck. It's very much like if you've ever been out in the Rocky Mountains, even the Smoky Mountains at times, a wild river, you get these little eddies that just kind of spin around. That's what's happening in the atmosphere. The jet stream usually is what drives everything. It's like the train tracks. Everything rides along the jet stream, but when the jet stream kind of dips and goes north, it cuts everything off, so everything just kind of sits. So the jet stream is the main river, and these are little eddies along the river, and when they get stuck, it makes it really hard to forecast where they're going. So here's the model guidance as we go hour by hour. Yeah, Adam, we won't be able to see any meteors tonight. There's a meteor shower going on, but this is why I don't like to promote meteor showers days or weeks in advance, because you never know what the weather's going to be like. Notice at 5 a.m. we start to kind of see a shift here. The rain breaks up. It's rain cooled. And again, you're seeing this at the same time I'm seeing it. This is new guidance just coming in this evening. And you notice at 10 a.m. we still have a few of these isolated showers, the thunder showers. But by 2 o'clock, I think we clear out a little bit. We clear out from the rain. I think those 90s, Amber, they're going to be coming probably sooner than you think. And we're gonna get out of this weather pattern. And I'm telling you, you're going to wish we were back in it, because it's going to get hot. It's going to get muggy. All this rain we've had is going to add to the boundary layer, the humidity levels. So it's going to be a very, very steamy end of the month. It's going to be a very hot and muggy June. I have a feeling that's going to happen. And with that, some stronger storms. So as we continue on there, see the model guidance there starting to throw some showers and storms tomorrow night, and it wasn't showing that at all the last run. So this is what I mean by every model run is going to be different. Now what I've done here is I've transitioned from a high resolution model to get to Thursday to a long range model. And this is the European model. And what's interesting here is you'll see as we go into the afternoon, it's bringing a round of storms in from the south and in from the north. So it's kind of a convergence here. And see that right there? The same thing, this is the 18Z run, so that's the first time I've seen that. But it's showing the same thing the model run did, the morning model run did. So I think we're looking at stronger storms, and the only reason we're looking at stronger storms Thursday is because it's going to get hotter. When you add more humidity, the air is more buoyant, it's more likely to rise, and that's why we're looking at that. Here's that 3-day forecast, 69 tomorrow. We're going to get rain cooled, and then 77 Thursday. That's why we'll see stronger storms. I think they'll wait till later in the day. And then the same thing Friday. We'll probably have some showers and storms. Some field days coming up for some of the kids at school. I get teachers and PTO, they ask me. It's really hard to predict this time of year anyway, it's timing, but this pattern is even more difficult. I've had a few people say, should we delay it and move it to next Friday? And all I can say is next Friday is going to be hotter, and there's still a chance we may see some thunderstorms. Going to run a quick commercial. This goes for 1 minute, and we'll get in and out of it, and then I'll be right back. We'll talk about your 10-day forecast. All right, and Mr. Reuter, thanks you for sticking around. I'm going to share some of your questions here. Again, that's one of those commercial breaks we have that for some of you it's an actual commercial that runs. I believe that's on our weather and news app. But if you're on YouTube, if you're on, I'm not sure if it runs an actual commercial on Roku or Apple TV or Fire Stick. I'm not sure if it does that or not. I've never been home to be able to watch it. But again, on Facebook, it doesn't either. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in tonight as well. We're going to get to that 10-day forecast coming up. Yeah, Bama weather's got a mind of its own, but I tell you what, I've been enough places where you could probably argue in many areas they'll say, give it 5 minutes and it'll change. And I think the worst situation where that has got to be like Rapid City, South Dakota out there. But as I haven't seen many snakes. You know, I used to see more snakes because I lived right by the creek and was right behind my house. But since we've moved out back into Harvest, I've got a big lake there. But when I take the dogs for a walk, haven't seen any snakes, but they're out there. They are out there. They're ready. A lot of water snakes out there too. And Amber's ready for pool. You know, we had pool weather like a week and a half ago, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope. That's what happens this time of year. Blackberry winter is always a little tricky, and that's what we're looking at. Thursday and Friday morning. You know, I think Thursday and Friday morning are going to be good, Dawn. She added that question there. And I think as we go into Friday and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's probably going to be more afternoon convection going on with that. But again, appreciate your comments there. Always like to share those when I can. We're going to switch back. I showed you that 3-day forecast before the break. 69 for the high tomorrow, 77 Thursday. The warmer you get, the stronger the storms get. And our rain chances kind of up and down. I don't see any particular day where it's going to rain all day, but there will be hours of inconvenience, we'll call it. So here's that 10-day forecast. Overall, as we get beyond this week, once we get this cutoff upper low out of here, there's been two of them. One of them's north of us, and it's moving northeast. The other thing about this is some of the model guidance is starting to put this second cutoff low out in the Gulf. And if that happens, we could see something tropical develop. That's usually how our early season tropical storms develop. They're going to develop on a tail end of a cold front, or it's going to be an upper level cutoff low. And I'd say it's half and half now on a Gulf low forming, which could become either an extratropical storm or a subtropical storm, I should say, or a tropical storm. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've got travel plans going into Florida next week. I would say probably the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Be watching out for that. But on the 10-day forecast, we kind of get through next week. We get a lot of rain. Tomato plants are going to love it. Of course, you might start developing some fungus on some of your, and some other issues due to too much rain on your garden. But overall, it's pretty good rainfall here. And again, it's not too much. It's not to where we're looking at significant flooding threat. But overall, yeah, Jared said they've got the seaweed. I think it's the sorghum. I think it's called sorghum grass down there. But I'll probably see it firsthand down there in Louisiana. I'm going down there to Grand Isle. We're going to do some fishing with my high school buddies. So it's something we do every year. But you know, it's just like our weather. I was looking at the forecast the last week or so, and it's like, oh man, it looks really good. And then in the last few days, it's looked lousy. So they've got all sorts of moderate risk for flooding in Louisiana. So who knows what I'll encounter when I get down there. But hey, I'll be with my friends. Everything's going to be all right. You guys have a good weekend and a good week. I will see you guys next Wednesday, so a week from tomorrow. I'm finally getting an actual vacation. Most of the time I've been taking off in the last year has actually been weather conference related. So again, first actual vacation for a while, but I have had time off, I will say that. You guys take care. I appreciate you tuning in. Again, if you're new to this, we do this at 9:30 Monday through Friday, at 10:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Eric Burke usually does it in the morning, and then on the weekends we'll do it at 4:30. But again, we're hiring a new meteorologist on the weekend. We found our meteorologist today, I'm happy to say, and we'll be giving you more information on that. She will start, I'll give you that, she will start the first week of August. So you're going to see a lot of Eric, Jeff, and I until then, unless we find a freelance meteorologist. And hey, if you're a freelance meteorologist, talk to us. We'll hire you for the summer.